Tony Wakeham will be sworn in as the 16th Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador tomorrow.
Wakeham will unveil his cabinet in a ceremony at Government House. In the meantime, outgoing Premier John Hogan spoke to the media for the first time since the election today, embracing his new role as opposition leader. NTV's legislative reporter Ben Cleary joins us live tonight with our top story. Ben.
Hey, Tony Marie. So once Tony Wakeham is sworn in tomorrow, it'll mark the first time in a decade that the PCs hold power in Newfoundland and Labrador.
There is nothing quite like a comeback.
Tony Wakeham and his new cabinet will be sworn in tomorrow. The ceremony will happen at Government House in St. John's around 11 a.m. Wakeham posted this video to social media today, marking the eve of his leadership.
Tomorrow, our province begins a new chapter when we swear in the cabinet who will lead your new government. It will be the honor of my life to serve as our province's 16th Premier since Confederation.
And also today, Liberal leader John Hogan, with the Liberal caucus in tow, made his first public remarks since his concession speech exactly 2 weeks ago. Hogan announced he will be staying on as leader of the official opposition.
I look forward to leading this group as leader of the official opposition in Newfoundland and Labrador.
This is the first time in a decade the Liberals are no longer in power in our province. In the election, they won 15 seats, handing the PCs a narrow majority. Hogan says it was a razor-thin loss, and the public still has an appetite for Liberal ideas, adding his party continues to go over how and why they didn't win.
Can't live in the past, though. Got to look at the future. And I think that's what I want to do, and I know that's what this caucus wants to do, and that's what Newfoundlanders and Labradorians want us to do. What's next for them? How are those promises that have been made, very expensive promises, going to be fulfilled?
Throughout the election, Hogan tried to sell voters on the Churchill Falls MOU and positioned himself as the man to get the deal over the finish line with Hydro-Quebec. But now Tony Wakeham is in charge and has promised a review and public referendum on the MOU. Hogan says he wants to know whether or not the incoming administration supports the deal.
He needs to tell Newfoundlanders and Labradorians what he wants to do with the MOU. He still hasn't been very clear, in my opinion, about what that is. Either say that he will continue to negotiate this deal and bring that to a referendum, or that he will do a new deal, or that he won't do this deal at all. But he needs to be clear about what that is.
And also today, the Liberal Party submitted applications to the province's Supreme Court requesting judicial recounts for 3 districts. That's Lewisport-Twillingate, where they lost narrowly by 18 votes, as well as Placentia West Bellevue, where they lost by 64, and Topsail Paradise, that's the largest margin, they lost there by 102 votes.
We have some evidence filed that we felt there was different interpretations given about how to count votes. Theoretically, that could apply to any of the 40 seats, including, for example, Windsor Lake. But we chose to focus on the 3 seats where there would be a potential that that number will be low enough that we could overturn those 3 elections.
Now, the PCs put out a statement, and they did not mince their words in response to the requests for those recounts. They said the Liberals' decision to play legal games in order to cling to power is disappointing, adding this is a waste of the court's time. So the back and forth between the Liberals in opposition and the PCs now in power has already begun. And I want to mention as well, the swearing-in ceremony for Tony Wakeham and his cabinet will be carried live on NTV. It begins 11 o'clock Newfoundland time. Michael?
Thank you very much, Ben. NTV's Ben Cleary reporting live this evening.